I'm just trying to see, based on the last stream, if there's going to be any video playback errors, because that was the biggest thing yesterday, was that when I was streaming and I saw a preview of the footage post-stream, everything was just completely frozen. Audio quality was fine. Oh, my bad. That is not me. That was a voice of the stream that I just took down, funny enough. So today was the second day trying to do a test stream for my composing process. It is going about as well as it can right now. My Wi-Fi just went out, and so it canceled the stream. Good stuff. So I went ahead and rebooted it back up, and I was just listening to the playback footage of the old stream to kind of see how things were operating. But that out the way, we are back up, and I'm going to jump right back into the project that I'm working on. So I am on Furnace Tracker instead of Ableton this time. We did Ableton last time. We also had Discord open, and there were some playback errors post-production. The audio quality was fine. It was just that the video was freezing a lot, getting a lot of still frames. So I'm doing it this time without Discord. Not as much activity on my computer. You're going to see how that behaves. And this is a different project this time, too. We have a Godot project I'm working on with a friend. We started going through those Brachy tutorials. We were pretty hyped when he made his debut return. And he approached me a couple weeks ago and was like, hey, I'm hoping to work on this cinematic title sequence, and I have some drafts for it right now. Would you be cool making a whatchamacallit, a title theme for this? And so this is an old draft for a platformer, Castlevania inspired platformer called Omni. And the way that the cinematic works is you start up a mountain on like a spire, and then it's this whole evil, ominous vibe, and then the camera's going to pan downward and reveal both your protagonist and then the title of the game, which is Omni. And the overall vibes while discussing this with him that I got from this game were just like village-like vibes. You know, you're this hero protecting their village from a bunch of bad guys, and so your village gets attacked, and I have a lot of like instrumental medieval thoughts revolving that, but then I also had some synth-like vibes regarding like the evil elements of the game. You know, our enemies. I thought this little wisp right here that was represented the little dot above the eye looked pretty cool. And so it gave me some like magical vibes. And so overall, I had pitched wanting to do a composition that introduced like instrument patches, and it was also an excuse for me to start exploring a new sound chip. I am getting lots of OBS messages. Looks like everything is working. Sometimes I gotta get used to the OBS messaging system. When it disconnects, I think it like will take some time to buffer, then reconnect and keep people up to speed, keep things smooth. So I'm gonna mute this channel right here. I have this intro I had made that I had forgotten about. I'm gonna give it a listen. So a lot of the evil vibes right now going on. Oh, there's something else too down here. Okay, so this is a pickup measure, right? It's complementing the cinematic part of the title sequence. And so I have this like ominous build-up going on. I'm starting to remember. And what I wanted to do with this was probably, you know, tweak out the ominous parts of this, but then start implementing a heroic vibe, because as your camera is panning downward, you reveal the title and the protagonist, and this is kind of like your call to adventure. And so this is a matter of me deciding what instruments do I want to use for this, because a lot of times when I make the title theme to something, I feel like I introduce a lot of the instruments that will get used in the overall OST of a song. Not all of them. There could be some exceptions, but definitely a lot of them. I like for the title theme to encapsulate what to expect in terms of the soundtrack. Because I feel like you're getting a snapshot of like your full setting, the whole story, like what's about to unfold, which is an excuse for me to be like, okay, well, here's all the instruments, and they're making their appearance at some point in this song, and kind of giving you tastes of all the vibes that you should expect. Um, so I'm unsure about the timing of that. I have this metronome that I made in this channel right here. It's just a snare drum instrument patch. I think there is a metronome feature on Furnace. I just don't like to use it. I'd rather have a percussive uh, instrument just giving me like some sort of quarter note pulse. We got a tempo of 90 right now, pretty slow, but that is what I want. Yeah, so that's our pulse. Oh yeah, and then I had this harp that I had muted over here. I want to turn that down. Gotta enter instrument edit mode. So that is way too quiet. I want to have something kind of winding up here right now, so let me see what I can. You know what's gonna be funky is I think I want to do triplets, which I think if I want to do triplets on Furnace, I'm gonna have to be messing with the time settings, because there's not like a triplet grid. Oops. Oh, I have the complete wrong. That just gave me Soulja Boy vibes. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not even gonna go there. Where is it? Harp. Right. This is me trying to offer a workaround to triplets so that I don't have to make triplets. Which is a fancy way of me saying I'm being lazy. That sounds like a cowboy. I don't like it. All right, fine. We're gonna go to the tick rate, not the tick rate. It's a different, or what's it called? That's the other thing. I used to use FamiTracker before I switched to Furnace, and like some of the commands are different that you use for your instruments. Like if I wanted to change the duty cycle of a pulse wave, in FamiTracker it was like V, and then whatever percentage of pulse width you wanted to apply to your sound wave. But then in Furnace it's like 12, and then the value you want to give your pulse wave. So OF, that's gonna set the speed. And this is one way that I know how to like create a sort of triplet note vibe, which is to change the speed from its base speed to like a quicker iteration or a slower iteration. We'll probably try that first, and then quickly correct it back to the original speed. And that like increase and decrease in tempo within a short span of time creates the sort of timing that you need for a triplet, depending on how you set it up. So let's see. I think I can do Shift Enter to play from here. What I might be looking for is 2-3-2. No, that's faster. So I want it to be 4-3-4 because I want the triplets to be slower. Do I want it to be continuous? I do like that speed that I just got from that was pretty cool. So I am not gonna be inputting that over and over again. Instead, yeah. So bam, bam, bam. Yeah. You see how it's like one bullet, two bullet, three bullet, four bullet, or I don't know, taki do, taki do, taki do. I know that there's like different ways you can count in music theory. Blah 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 blah. Up an octave. I've got some sort of like bouncy arpeggio. I am on airplane mode. Get out of here. Mail thing is like, screw your airplane mode. What about this bell notification thing? I don't care. Make it go away. Ooh, do not disturb. That sounds like it might answer my problems. We like that. Okay. So immediately I'm not sure when I want that to change. Right now it sounds a bit off. E, C, E. Just be going up the octaves. Yeah, let's get that going for a little bit. Let's see how I feel. A, E, A. Sure. Sounds cool. And then copy, 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 paste. I think I like the amount of times each of those are playing. I want another arpeggiating sequence. Some sort of like harmony or not counter melody. Something complementing this current sequence and offering something that makes you feel like this build-up is super magical. Yeah. That's going too long. I think that's going just by like 3 notes. It's one triplet. It's like one triplet too long. So what is it? E, A, C, E, A, C. Or the triplet is starting, the next triplet right here, it's starting before the downbeat, which I think might be a problem. I'm getting lost in the triplet note sauce. Gotta remember what I'm working with. Give me everything. Those triplets are also too high right there near the bottom. Right here. So I think A, E, G instead of what was I doing? A, E, A. It was like 4th octave A to 5th octave A. I don't know. Don't know how. I like that better. It's coming in too early, but I do like it. I think that needs to come in right here. I either need to be doing something about the triplet note, like the final triplet note before the transition to a new sequence of notes, if that's making sense. I might need to like do something funky here. A, E, G. I have the other A, E, A thing still happening up here. But I don't want it to start that early, the A, E, G. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that needs to be the other thing, the previous thing. What is it? Am I going E? Oh my gosh, what am I doing here? E, C, E? E. What? Does get a little bit hard to decipher on tracker interface. There's just like so many notes in front of my face. Maybe I want a slower triplet or just something slower before the transition and then like jump back to fast each time my arpeggio changes notes and is like moving upward. But how? That's the question, is how. Or I just want two quarter notes. Or I just want two, or not quarter notes, eighth notes. Ba-na. So let's try this. Okay. I'm gonna leave the timing commands, the OF commands for now, which is it's just maintaining that triplet pulse. But see, I got the two eighth notes here now before the next part of the arpeggiation. I did the thing that I didn't want to thing I didn't want to do. I'm getting closer to what I think I'm looking for. Maybe 5. Don't do anything with you. Get rid of you and have you right before the next one. But you're going to be sustained for longer because of the timing thing, Mabobber. Still not doing the thing. Okay, so take back what I just said. That's what, oh my gosh, I am so silly. This part right here is wrong. Gosh, I was like, why did that sound so weird? I wasn't feeling things the way that I wanted to. Because it's ECE, but then this is starting right at CE. But I don't think I want E to start before the downbeat. Okay, so which means I'm gonna ECE, ECE. Okay, I can kind of predict. So let's get rid of there. And then are you start? Okay, that's starting in the correct spot. Then we get to the drop, the noise right here. Except we do not want it to be whatever that was right there. Go away. Right. Yeah. Cool. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I don't need you anymore. Go away. Hmm. Okay, okay. This is not going to be the correct notes, but I'm just going to put this in a place I don't want it. Because I'm really focused on the timing that I just created right there before each transition to a new arpeggiating sequence. I'm trying to figure out if I like the feel. Mm-hmm. starting to feel like I am unnecessarily instrument juggling right now. Like maybe I'm shooting for two different things to happen. I'm replacing what's happening with the arpeggiations when I think I want them to exist while something else is happening, which just means that I need to put some stuff in a different channel. That is something to think about. I'm half and half on what I like better from this sequence. Because the way I see it, there's two things I got going on right now, and I'm gonna play it and then I'll try and explain it. Now, what I have happening here, where you see that the lack of a note, and then my like timing effects doing their funky thing, it gets slow for a second. It plays something a little different than what you've been hearing consistently before jumping to the next like arpeggio. But then down here, I don't have a hiccup. I just have a note that is following the steady triplet rhythm, and it's kind of like a throw off, but in a good way that sort of pulls you out, but then pulls you back in to the arpeggio. So here. And I think I do like that better. Dang it. And if I like that better, then that means I need to understand what I did there that I like, and then bring it back to over here. Or I could have both. I'm sitting here thinking it has to be one or the other. But I mean, both could be cool. But it also becomes a thing of can the listener, does it feel out of place? Like, does me messing with the timing like that sound correct, or is it just making things weird? And that's something that becomes hard for me to determine after I've been working on the same thing for so long. Like I've listened to it so much, my perception gets a little warped. Well, you know, I don't think I need to be that worried about it right now. That's a decision that I could make later. I could start focusing on other stuff. So okay. Is that all happening here? Oh, there's another one. Aha. As much as I like my metronome, I think I might be looking for a chord that would be getting put in the DSP1 channel. This is disgustingly unorganized, or it's about to be, because I'm about to have two string chords in channel 7 and 8, and then have the root note of it probably put in channel DSP1. I mean, this would be problematic. How would this be problematic? There's a good question. If I were to mix this outside of Furnace and in something like, let's say, Audacity or in Ableton, whatever, and I was exporting this track by track, I'd probably want to have each track responsible for a specific instrument. Because if I'm instrument juggling, then I'm overthinking it. Or I'm not overthinking it, but I don't want to think too hard. Yeah. There's got to be another note right there. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. That was the note that I think I was looking for, too. We're just going to get rid of the metronome. And also turn you down. Might even take this instrument. Was that string 2? Where's cello? What's this sound like? Oh, this loud. How about this? Going to be changing. Let's go here. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so that might be it, but I also want different timbre. Solo this. That's not what I want. I think I need a different arpeggio. So, yeah, it's too low right now, so we're gonna go 0, 0, and then I need to think about what notes are in the arpeggio, because this note right here is the root note. Okay, so. Okay, so that, okay. Right. I think this is gonna be 7C. I'm unsure about the C. So, no, wait, 8. That's probably A. Maybe. And then just go a whole octave higher. Yeah. Except I I don't want to get rid of the lower arpeggiator going on, so let's get rid of the pulse sustain over here, which was barely existing to begin with. Oh, but that is so loud. Wow. Why are you... This is starting to sound more like what I wanted, I think. Yeah. The higher elements of this build could probably afford to be introduced even earlier. What are the chances I go into a 6/8 time signature after this transition? Some sort of... Oh gosh. Alright, let's not even... Ah, gosh, okay. Oh, that's right. I am a completely different instrument right now. Number 10. Except we are not high enough. I just started using a MIDI keyboard with Furnace. I'm still getting used to that, but one of the things I love about it compared to just using regular keyboard is I have this button that just lets me jump up and down in octaves. Because whenever I used to make a song, I used to just be clicking the plus minus just all the time up here to change octaves. I take it back. Portamento. Oops. What is portamento? Says nobody. But I will tell you anyway. It's when, instead of jumping from note to note by just jumping to that note, as all these other notes have been doing so, it slides to the note. See? Boom. And I'm about to make it faster. I don't know if that is going to be something that I want. It's just something I thought of at the moment. I do think it works well with the transition rate here. Oh, another thing, this is just completely random note. I'm going to start, well, I don't know. Haven't even told you, but here in the volume column, right? All volume with your tracker software uses hexadecimal, and depending on the chip that you're using, it all has its limits, right? And just like in the last stream with Ableton, where I said, like, I'm going to put all the tracks at -6 decibels so that I have headroom and can focus on my mix. I want to do the same thing here. The interesting part being that since I'm using two different sound chips, 2A03 goes from 0 to 0F. F being like 16 in hexadecimal, I think, or 15. So it goes like 0 to 9, and then it goes A, B, C, D, E, F. And that's like your max volume. And so if I were to leave headroom on the 2A03 channels, I'd have it at like C at maximum, which is what you can see down here. Pun intended, is that I have a volume level of C, and my thought is to not go anything above that, so that if I were to export these channels separately down the road and mix them, I would have the headroom to do so and would feel good about that mixing process, because I spent time here focusing on the balance of everything and not just having things loud yeah, that makes sense, I think. The bass is super low. That's what it is, I think. This is... Excuse me. Surprise sneeze. I'm gonna get a glass of water. So that'll be like 30 seconds. Was it 30 seconds? I didn't count, but I'm here. Let's see. Here's the real question. See, a little bit of weird instrument juggling going on here. I got 2 pulse channels, of which have the timbre that I like, and not enough space to create what I think I want, which the stubborn side of me is like telling myself to make it work. The other side of me is like, you could add VRC6, which is another sound chip that has more pulse channels. Is that? I just cut something that I might want to use later. I'm gonna take it, put it there for a second because I decided that let's move that there. All right, now I'm gonna put that back on my clipboard. Okay. Dun, da, 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 da. And then after that super suspense build up, and then it suddenly winds downward, I just want to commit to the small bit of string instruments that I've introduced. Oh, that's so loud. Holy cow. Why can't I hear that? There we go. Yeah, those ones right there. So okay. Yeah. That's why I had said earlier. Ooh, gosh. Sorry, yawning. That's why I had said earlier I'm thinking of 6/8. The time signature. These string instruments, I feel like I could like suddenly have this 4/4 build up, change to 6/8 and be some sort of cool village tune. But I'm not sure. I've thought that a lot for pieces before, suddenly jumping to 6/8 and then have just stayed with 4/4 and come up with something else that I like more. So That didn't even sound like it was crescendoing, which I think because it's tapering off, like that's one of the instrument's features, I might just be counteracting that. Like, what if I do this? Yeah, that got louder. So maybe I just need to do that more aggressively, the crescendo, or uh toggle echo, toggle pitch, toggle. Good golly, look at all the stuff. Ooh, set envelope mode 15 1. What does it mean by that? Like, okay. So let's look at here. Gotta remember, this is my first time using SNES, so I'm gonna assume it's saying we're gonna use this as a test dummy. In fact, get rid of these. I wanna mess with this one. Here we go. So 0, attack, decay, sustain, release. Okay. What are you setting exactly? Like if I just type something 15 1 F 15 1 F, maybe that means you are setting the gain to F. But let me do it right here. 15 1 F 15 1 F. That does sound louder. I think what's interesting about that is it's not decaying. Yeah, when I did that, that is a static value, meaning the gain is not going to change now that I have set it to what I'm assuming to be 15, because I think like, right, 15, right, is telling it I want to set the envelope mode. 1 is saying I want to affect the envelope's gain, and then F is the number I'm setting the envelope's gain value at. That makes sense in my head. And now that I've assigned it F, it's going to stay that value. It's not going to have this attack, decay, sustain, release behavior that you see up here in the instrument's preset. In this case, the harp. Sorry, where is it? 10? It's pretty much the same, right? So if I do that, my worry is that I don't know how to undo the value that I have set once I have set it. Like, could I just go 15 1 0, and does that tell it like, hey, just be, I don't know, do your thing, don't listen to me? And the answer to that is no. What if I do that? Oh, wait. 1A. 1, 3. Oh, that was different. I was treating these two numbers to the right of 15 as if they were XY values instead of XX values. And what I mean by that is sometimes when you are doing something, you'll have an X and a Y, like the arpeggio, for example. You have your root note, then you have the second note and the third note, your X and Y, that sequence repetitively, thus making your arpeggio. But then with the pitch slide up, it says 0, 1, XX, which means you can have up to double-digit values determining how fast or slow your pitch is sliding upward. And so you have a more extensive range in hexadecimal, right? Because if I only have a single digit for arpeggio, then I can only go from 0 to F. But if I have double digits, then I can go above F. After F, you would say 10, which is actually the number 15, or it might be 16 in hexadecimal. Then you would go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way to 19, I think, and then it's like 1A, 1B, 1C, and so on. That pattern repeats itself. And so the reason I broke all that down is because I wasn't paying attention to the XX right here. I was interpreting it as XY. So, man, what really gets me about that is it telling me that there are just 5 modes? Like gain mode, whatever that mode is, whatever that mode is, whatever these other modes are. But that can't be the case, right? Because 1F did do something. It did something. Not unless going above the number 5 simply is interpreted as just 5 all around. Right? So then if I did 6, 7, A, it sounds the same each time. But then if I did 4, well, actually, that sounds the same too. Okay, well, how about 3? EXP, whatever that did, that just disappeared. That disappeared. Yeah, I don't know. That is beyond me. I would have to look at project files and look for instances where these sorts of commands are used, meaning I would go to GitHub repository for Furnace Tracker, I would find people's project files that use this sound chip, and then I would hopefully find examples of that command being used, maybe even some other ones that I don't know about, and have a better understanding of how they work. Because me experimenting with that did not lead to any clarity. And the reason I'd done that in the first place, before I just get lost completely, was I was trying to figure out how to well, I did just get lost. I can't remember what I was trying to do. Let me see. Oh gosh. I was trying to create a crescendo in volume that counteracted the harp tapering off, since that is what it is naturally doing, without me having to change the harp's attack, decay, sustain, release, because I like this preset. It's just that for this instance right here, I'd like to ignore that release and be able to crescendo. And to anyone that was watching this whole journey and thought process, you've probably been staring at these commands right here and thinking to yourself, holy crap, please just use these 4 commands right here, because that's probably going to answer my problems. Okay. And yeah, like I said, 1F. Actually, that's a lot. 1F is a lot. Release doesn't go that high, does it? Oh yeah, it totally does. What did I just have this at? 16? Sure. Okay, 23. I think it's going to be 0. I think it's 0, right? Let's see. Okay. I think that did exactly what I wanted. Right? Because you heard that was just sustaining itself. So let's... And that is releasing, because the end of the note happens as soon as it plays, and so it immediately goes into the release, of which me putting in 23 and setting the value to 0, because remember this is XX, essentially just for this moment until I want to reset it, has it at this, which you can see here the line is straight, the volume is not going to change, and so I can go ahead and do my little crescendo thing that I wanted to do in increments, which some people might find this distasteful, just because you can kind of hear it jump up in increments if you listen really closely, but I would argue that when everything else starts existing and playing together, it sounds pretty smooth, and it's not that big a deal. It's not that deep. And there we go. I just learned a thing about a thing, and I'm happy about that thing that I learned. Wow. Let's just take this. And we just gotta remember to, set it back to 16. You know, respect the preset. Otherwise, you know, if I'm messing with this instrument later and something sounds off, I might find myself looking here and being like, well, what the heck? This is what it's supposed to be. And then completely forgetting that I used this command at some point. Yeah, if you see what I mean, I might like throw myself off. Did I copy it? Yeah, I did. Okay. Let's copy it this way now with the command, because I need to take it to where this root note is. Doink. All right. And then... It's a very subtle crescendo right now. I don't like the arpeggios the way they sound right now. They tend to sound good when they're beneath everything else, and right now they're very standout-ish. I think I like the notes that they're at. I don't like the timing of the final arpeggio I have in the pulse, but I haven't decided what I want to do with that yet. I'm very focused on these SNES channels right now and how to get what I want out of them. the stream looks like it's been running good for a while now, which is good. I didn't do anything differently compared to when it just crashed. In fact, when it crashed, that was just because my Wi-Fi went out. So that was just kind of like some streaming RNG right there, of which I do not have the best of luck. So, it is what it is. Cool, and it's up to date. I need something higher pitch coming in there too. I need more channels. Well, I don't need more channels. Here's the thing that I haven't approached yet that I've been thinking of doing, but I wanted to see if I could not do it before. Which is these 4 channels right here are handling the bass stuff that's happening at the bottom. I could potentially start implementing the higher pitch notes here, like further off where the notes have tapered pretty substantially, the bass notes, and go ahead and throw in the notes that I'm hoping to implement. I was just seeing if I could find a way to implement it when without doing it in these 4 channels. I've been thinking of the triangle channel a lot too. I'm sure you've noticed it's a pretty neglected channel right now, but I think my decision there is that I would like to use it for after the pickup measure for the drop, and that would be a cool, like, oh, we definitely just transitioned sort of vibe. So yeah, I'm holding off on even touching that channel right now. Plus, because this is so dynamic, like volume, crescendoing, decrescendoing, like instruments coming into play for the first time. Like, the thing about the triangle channel is, once you put it in there, it is the volume that it is. Like, it is going to be the same volume no matter what you do. To my knowledge, if there were a way to change the triangle channel's volume, that'd be pretty nuts. But that's just the constraint that comes with this chip, one of which you just gotta respect. So let's see. Okay. Wow. Is it you that's making that sound? Yeah, that is very grainy, that second pulse. Without it, though, wondering if I even need that. It's already so powerful on its own. Yeah, I mean, having that at 1 seems like the move right now. These sorts of things change when you start adding more instruments. Like, you'll suddenly notice, like, an instrument is just not existing the way that it used to because you have so many other things happening, and it's like, oh, I need to make this louder. But the jump from 1 to 2 is pretty noticeable versus, yeah. And like that, jump into the arpeggio there. I think this sustained note in pulse 1 can become irrelevant after my chord from the other bass notes play. I don't think we're going to notice if it suddenly disappears, not in a negative way, which will allow me to prioritize having the higher blank note that I'm hoping to incorporate. Uh-huh. See, there's all these low notes. Lots of low stuff happening right now. Where is that other arpeggio? There should be a changing arpeggio right here. Oh, it's totally not what it needs to be. Is it hiding? Is this it? Oh. I think that's it. I had said I was saving this for later. I'm pretty sure that was the thing I was saving it for. I just forgot that it's gonna go right here. Oh yeah, that's oh man. Okay, okay. Yeah. Yes. It's starting to sound like the thing I wanted it to sound like. I feel like I've said that before, but just a reminder that the direction we're going in is a pretty cool one. Yeah, I feel like that's gonna be a cool chord to have. I need some more stuff in there. Um, I did reach out to my buddy. He said he'd probably get here around 12:30 if he was available. The one who's working on the cinematic, Izzy. Um, be interesting to get his thoughts because I mean, this is somewhat of a timing thing of which I could work around based off what he presents to me, or he could work around based on what I present to him. I'm fine with either way. Might be a little bit of both. It might have something to do with the way the Godot cinematic tools work, which is something that's new territory for us. Because because I'm definitely more familiar with Unity and even Unreal than I am Godot. That's been a pretty new journey, but it's an exciting one nonetheless. I am pretty excited to do both composition and sound design on this, and this isn't this is a back burner thought, but hopefully I can use the plugin, the Wwise Godot plugin, the middleware, to do my sound design, because that would allow me to use the Wise's interactive music hierarchy, which comes with some pretty cool tools for defining your dynamic music playlist, um, and just all sorts of cool features that make a soundscape a cool soundscape in a game. And I mean, this is just a platformer, so that that might be kind of unnecessary. I might just be better off using the original tools and just going with that. But it's just a thought. I always like to explore, new things. And that was my ramble right there, just for the time being. There was something I wanted to do. Okay, because I'm trying to create more. What do I mean by more? I just need more, all right? And you're going to have to work with that, because even I don't know what that means right now. And I think that's my way of saying I am about ready to start playing with some of these effects and see what sort of trouble I can get myself into. So we have echoing, which that's a new thing. Because if it's telling me that I can create an echo effect in a single channel without having to, let's say, like copy paste all of this and then displace it like by one note and then lower the volume, because that's what I used to do, that would be pretty gamer. That would save me some space that I could use for other things, right? Because we're trying, it's instrument management mode right now. Like, I have all these ideas, but I have limited space, which this is kind of the fun in working with sound chips, in my opinion, is that I'm going for a certain style, and these chips are going to present limitations that challenge my creative process. And so now, by working with those constraints, I am pitted with trying tools that I probably would never think to use if I just had all the channels I ever wanted. That's what I like about this software. It makes me think hard in a way that I like to think hard. So we're gonna play with this channel. Yeah, I'm still not sure about the rhythm for that, but I still don't care right now. So we're gonna, there's an echo delay. So let's put, it's 19. And then it's an XX value. So how about 3? Oh gosh, what was that sound? Wow. Oh, it got even worse. How about here? Is that consistently? Oh my gosh. It's like I'm dropping stuff into the trash disposal. Ooh. So that's I don't know what's happening at the beginning, but as far as this part right here, the triplets, like, it just does that immediately. Is that just gonna be a thing? What is that? What is that sound? I hate it. I mean, I don't hate it. That actually sounds pretty cool. Like, but I don't think it's appropriate. I wanted to play it fully, so. I'd like to understand what's happening right there. So, so we're setting what is echo buffer? You know, it's getting to a point where I might just have to hop onto like the Furnace Tracker Discord and be like, hey, somebody tell me how this makes sense. Ooh, that's not... Well, now it's not doing a thing. Oh gosh, now it's doing a thing. Okay. Ooh, that's... How about this? Nope. Set echo... I mean, enable echo... But okay, wait. I'm playing with the XX values of enable echo buffer, but I think that is... all that's doing is enabling something simply by having put in the 18 command. As for what that's doing, it's just stopping the echo effect completely. Well, what if I put it a little bit further down? That stops it a little bit. Okay. Ooh, wait. Toggle echo on this channel. Am I... Oh, I'm on the wrong instrument. Is there a harp? There is. Look, there's an echo effect right here. I don't actually want to... No, I'll get... Okay, there we go. Go away. Ew. Oh, gosh. What are you? Anybody starting to notice how unfamiliar I am with the SNES instrument editor? I never put values in for these effects, so I'm assuming that it had been played with when I had grabbed the instruments. Okay, well, I don't want to have a preset echo. I was just wanting to be able to toggle it on and off. I was just curious where that existed in the instrument editor. So we got... Oh, wow. What? Coefficient? Set echo filter coefficient 0 through 7. Look at all these. Ugh. I'm not doing it right now, but I just want y'all to know that I am probably going to go onto the GitHub and find some SNES tunes and be looking for somebody that uses this, because I definitely want to understand this. I don't want to look into it now because I'm just so afraid that if I go on my browser, start opening stuff and pulling up videos, like the stream is just gonna it's gonna be done. It's gonna be like, it was nice, but goodbye. All right. Well, what I can do for now is ignore. I've been saying that a lot, but ignore that really choppy effect happening. Okay, so that's cool sounding. And then, honestly, I am liking the timing of that, so I think I'm gonna hit this with the OBO command The I just said boo. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, that should be the jump to next measure command, right? Right? Next pattern, I mean? Yeah. Which will be when we are not in a pickup measure and doing music things that should be loopable. Uh, and you might be thinking to yourself, man, this guy's been working on the first measure for a long time. And that's how it always is for me. And I get stuck on the beginning for quite a while. And I feel like a lot of people can agree. Like, when you're starting off, it is going to take longer because you're deciding what instruments you're going to use. Like, how are things starting off? But then once things do start off, I feel like it's easier there on out because it's just like, okay, well, I already know what I'm working with. So I'm not going to have to be making a lot of the decisions that I had to make at the beginning of this process for the rest of the song. The beginning part is arguably the hardest, especially when you first start, because, man, these instruments just, like, by themselves, they sound so doo-doo. Like, I don't want to hear that, you know? I want to hear that with a bunch of other stuff. And then, and all of a sudden, it's okay. One thing I did just notice is that even though I soloed the Pulse 1 channel, it still had that chop effect. I don't know what that is. Okay. Set. I just said that I wasn't gonna set echo feedback. Oh. You know, I think that weird thing that was happening is still happening, but because I had the feedback set to 0, it was like, hey, I'm not going to happen anymore. That is pretty cool. How high can that go? Can I just... let's go wild. I'm liking that. Can it go higher? It's like Kylo Ren, where he's like, more. That's a lot. Alright. Yeah, so just because, for my sake, let's turn off those channels so that if it repeats itself, those turn off. That shouldn't be a problem once we get into the future patterns, but just for me right now. Okay. So. The sustain is like way too bland right here. I need to have other things happening and help keep the momentum going. Like we kind of are just like sitting there for a bit too long. The build up is what I'm referring to. And this is me thinking. This is the fun part of the stream where you sit with me in silence. but you know, that's just a part of the process. I do like what I did with the portamento right there. Sorry if that clicking sound is bothering anyone from the echo. I really did want to figure out how to stop it. It's not really bothering me right now. I'm in the zone. I need another note in there, and I just am like... Here it is. We're getting rid of it. Goodbye. Say goodbye to the metronome. Wow, that actually made me feel a bit empty, removing that metronome. I feel like I'm missing something now. Not that I want the metronome to be a part of the piece, but I just became a little bit self-conscious there for a second. Don't I... What do I have to work with here? Well, I didn't mean to... Okay. Why is that clicking every time I input a note? Okay. Ah, yes, alien abduction sound. I kind of like that. It doesn't even sound like a timpani drum. Maybe because I'm so low in the octaves, but it's environmental in a way that I think will suit the pickup, because we start on a mountain, and when I hear that sound, I kind of think of like wind crashing against rocks. I don't know, like it's kind of just working in my brain right now. Not the snare. That's... Okay. So... don't know what I have the volume at initially when it starts. And that will be going higher. Now, I could always just do the noise sound, the volume levels here. I'm talking about the strings right now, by the way. I just shifted my mindset to the strings, and I'm thinking about making that crescendo a bit stronger. Man, there's a lot of just other commands going on. Fast volume slide. I don't want it to be fast. We're looking fine volume slide. Is that is that what I'm looking for? F3 10. Let's try 10, and then let's remove all of these. Oops. You are doing the thing with the choppy sound thing that I don't need to be happening right now. Does that mean I gotta play you from the beginning just so you don't do that? Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay, it seems like what I'm looking for. I don't know if you saw, I was looking at the little bar right here, but it definitely was rising, but man, was that a slow rise. Finne, volume slide up. You are the thing that I wanted for the thing. Okay. That means we get to extend the effects columns for those 3 channels because we need to be doing 2 things at once now. That's always fun. And then I'm gonna have typos and be putting in random commands. F430. And I might even want these to rise at different speeds. What? F340. What? I just gaslit myself. Yeah, so that removes the need for these fellas. All my fellas. So let's... Yeah, and that's going to have to drop down when the drop happens, but I am happy with that. Honestly, I'm going to want that to be even more 50. So, good golly. There we go. And now I can start thinking of... gosh, I'm falling in love with that command. I think I might even want it for this one. I don't know about that, though. No, I do know about that. Let's do this. Let's just try it. What good is not knowing about that when you haven't even tried that? That was pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, so now that I've done that, I think I'm officially ready to not like the timing of that triplet stuff I did to want to change it. So let's figure out how to change it. See, I like that. Um, it's happening right here. Ba-na-na-na. It's just 04. I'm looking at the timing commands right here. So 4343, right before the next change. I have a weird slow thing that I was trying to do, like son of a gun. Blah, blah, blah. 4343. Yeah, and then do it again here. It's gonna be a one-y and a sort of Takadimi sort of vibe here. Instead of all the triplets, it's gonna be, yeah. So we are still a timpani drum. We need to turn into a harp. We have turned into a harp, but we are way too low octave. Swag. Sounds like it's doing something. Uh, yeah. More time. I like that. It sounds cool. SNES doing cool things. What is this effect? 1C60. I forgot what this was doing. Echo feedback. Oh, that was, yeah, to prevent the thing. Set noise frequency. What are you? Nope. Okay. Well, I interpreted that weird chop as noise, so I was hoping if I put it at 0, it would get rid of it. But guess not. But let me see. Cool. That's all happening in one channel. That's what's blowing my mind right now. Is like I'm thinking to myself, man, how would I have done this in like multiple channels if I were to set up the echo without like an effect? Because you know that's an affordance of the SNES chip. If I were to do that on like the 2A03, like it doesn't have the echo command. I'd have to be duplicating stuff and dedicating 2 channels or 1 channel in a really weird way to creating that echo effect. It is. I don't need to listen to that again. We're good there. All right, so notes for the next time I am working on this, because I'm about to wrap things up, is working on just this build up. I could probably start approaching the finishing touches. I'd prefer to get some feedback from my buddy. I'll be telling him that I've basically got the suspenseful part fleshed out. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty epic build up, and we got these like string elements that are gonna be debuting a bit more noticeably, is where I think we're gonna go with that. But it'll depend on the discussion, and then after that we'll come back to this and hopefully have the pickup measure finished, and then we will be in a whole new pattern where we'll start making the song. This will be where it starts, and then it loops and loops and loops and loops. So that is it for this stream. It looks like the stream was running super well this time. It was without Discord. I'd like to be able to use Discord in the case that I'm ever with somebody and speaking with them throughout. But I mean, it's all about what my computer can handle, and that's what these test streams are for. But that was a bit of the process today, and when I am happy with how things are functioning both on OBS and on my software and my Wi-Fi, then I am hoping to release an official schedule that shares my progress with these projects, and hopefully I can start clipping key moments of my process, because I mean the whole process is definitely not the most riveting thing, but in clips I think people would find it pretty interesting. I know I would. With some composers I'd love to see do their sort of work. But yeah, that's it. Have a good day, y'all.